There has been a few players among this Dallas Cowboy team that are really starting to break out and change the culture around here under Brian Schottenheimer. And in this video, what I wanted to do was break down these 1 to 2 players and why I believe they're going to stand out this year. And honestly, the Dallas Cowboys coaching staff, the front office, they believe right now they have came across 2 stars in the making. We're going to break it down here for you. Now, before we dive into the video, I do want you to comment down below 2 players before I tell you about them. 2 players that you believe could break out this season. And it could be a rookie, it could be a newly acquired free agent, a second-year player, or just a veteran. Who do you think is going to take a massive step up this season for the Dallas Cowboys? And with that being said, let's dive into the video. Now, the first player I'm going to break down is on the offensive side of the ball. I do want to give a couple of shout outs as well. One to Miles Sanders. He's been doing a lot of things in camp thus far, being very reliable as a pass catcher out of the backfield. That is one guy I do want to give a major shout out to. But the one guy that's really fitting into this offense really nice is the running mate of CeeDee Lamb, George Pickkins. George Pickkins has already started to build a rapport, a chemistry with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb thus far, and it feels like this was a match made in heaven. We know over in Pittsburgh there was a little bit of some headaches at time, but over here in Dallas, everything has gone so smoothly, and they feel like they have one of the best wide receiver duos in the entire NFL. And I'm going to show you right now on the film exactly why these two together make this offense unstoppable. All right, now the first thing that I want to show you guys is how great George Pickens really is, right? So you see him at the bottom of your screen versus the Baltimore Ravens. Now, just imagine, right? And we don't have to sit here and talk too much about CeeDee Lamb because we all know how good CeeDee Lamb is. But a lot of the time, he was getting shadow covered, right? They would send a safety over the top and make sure that he just wouldn't have anything down the field. They'd have to get him involved early and often and see if he can create plays after the catch. But now that George Pickens is here, I'm sorry, but you cannot shadow him. You cannot shadow CeeDee Lamb anymore, and it's going to make him a lot more dynamic offensively. Right on this play, you're going to see some eye candy, a motion by Calvin Austin. In Dallas, Kevontae Turpin is a guy that is very similar with great playmaking ability after the catch. So after we rotate or motion Calvin Austin over, you see the defense start to rotate over, right? Now watch this safety in Kyle Hamilton. As the quarterback drops back in the pocket, we notice his first step is forward, right? Now, whenever that safety takes their first step forward, this becomes a yes read. Okay, now normally they call it a yes-no read, but because this is George Pickens who makes 50-50 balls, more like 70-30 balls, you're throwing that football no matter what because, quite frankly, you just like George Pickens in one-on-one coverage every single day of the week. Look at him come back to the football, right? Do a great job getting hip to hip. DB turns his back, and once he sees that ball come, he stops on a dime, boxes out, and gets a toe tap on the sideline. George Pickens is going to be massive on the opposite side of CeeDee Lamb because no longer can they shadow cover CeeDee, so it's going to open up CeeDee Lamb, but now they can't shadow cover George Pickens because if you do, CeeDee's going to be open. So now you have 2 guys that whenever you play one high safety looks, it's always going to be a yes-no read for either or. Whoever you like the matchup for more, you're going to throw the football to. Again, pre-snap motion by Calvin Austin. They leave one-on-one coverage with George Pickens. Throw the ball up. Watch him go get it. Again, this dynamic for the Cowboys is going to be unbelievable. I promise this is the last one. Now, look at this, right? Because that this Steelers team was running the football a ton, the Ravens decided to put all these guys up in the box. Teams, I'm sorry, but you cannot do this versus the Dallas Cowboys because this is exactly what's going to happen. You have press man coverage with a really good corner in Marlon Humphrey, but do we think it matters? It doesn't matter at all. Look at this, right? So let me get back to where we were. Okay, boom. So here we go. Press man coverage versus Marlon Humphrey. You beat him off the line, and look, they're throwing the football before he's even open. Before he's even open, they're throwing the football because they understand this is not a 50-50 ball. This is a 70-30 ball. Beats him down the field, gets in for a touchdown. It's unbelievable what this guy can do. And now that you have him and CeeDee Lamb, it's going to really force defenses to go 2 high safety. So instead of having nobody, or everybody, I should say, in the box, now you're forced to have a safety deep here and a safety deep here. Now, what that allows the Dallas Cowboys to do is have the numbers, the strength in numbers in the box. Now they can run the football. So now you can do everything you want. Now, before we get into the defensive player that I think is going to change a lot for this Dallas Cowboys team and slowly been breaking out a lot throughout camp, do me a big time favor, guys. Hit the like button if you want more of these videos, but most importantly, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel if you haven't already done so. It is free. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and we will be covering the Dallas Cowboys throughout the entirety of this year's offseason, which includes all of training camp, all of minicamp, which is over, but then preseason football will be here. We'll be breaking down film for every single game, individual player breakdown, and for the regular season, team breakdowns. We got you guys covered. Join the family. Let's dive back into the defensive breakout player of the offseason thus far. Now, the breakout player defensively is no other than new DB Kyrie Elam, a former first-round pick, a guy with, unmatched type of potential, very raw as a player, but man, the potential is amazing. Now, this tweet says, Cowboys Kyrie Elam is undoubtedly making the most of his opportunity. Sometimes a change of scenery is all a player needs to build upon some confidence and reclaim the talent that they had inside of them all along. And coming out of college, Kyrie Elam was an absolute unit of a human being and a unit of a player. Now the Dallas Cowboys have Kyrie Elam, and he's really fitting in nicely right away. I will admit, guys, Kyrie Elam has not been good throughout his career thus far, but it doesn't mean he can't be good going forward. You're going to see a comeback right here to the front pylon versus Kyrie Elam back when he was with Buffalo. Reads it like a book. Basically runs the route for the receiver, breaks on it, gets the interception, up by 14 already. I do believe Kyrie Elam is going to be a great player here for the Dallas Cowboys, and they've done a very similar thing all offseason, right? They've added guys that have a lot of potential, whether it be Peyton Turner, Kenneth Murray, Jack Sanborn, Kyrie Elam, all these guys, former high-round picks that have potential. And again, Kyrie Elam is one of my favorites. Not a while back, but this offseason, they traded a 5th rounder and a 7th rounder for Kyrie Elam in a 6th. Now, again, this is a former high round pick. Okay, potential's there. Can they get out of him? That is the biggest question to date right now. I have no idea. But in my opinion, Kyrie Elam, with Trayvon Diggs being out with an injury, right, Siobhan Revel missing some time, has made the most of his opportunities thus far and is slowly making his way to being a starting DB in Dallas pretty much right away. I am going to end the video here, guys. Let me know what you guys think about Brian Schottenheimer as a head coach here in Dallas. Do you think this is going to be a really good, kind of experiment, or do you think it's going to go south? Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button, subscribe, join the family. There have been 2 major breakouts over minicamp, George Pickkins and Kyrie Elam. Let me know what you guys think about that. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.